stream. Are we excited yet? I'm not pressing record on here because it's going to be on the computer. Setting up your for YouTube Live.
I'm telling everyone, be quiet if you walk past. That's why it's good early.
Yeah, got Grandy's here again. They're here all this week.
Yeah.
And they're each in their bedrooms doing whatever they need to do.
Yeah,
there we go. Your YouTube Live. Okay, I think this is us. Yeah, got Grandy's here again. They're here all this week.
Yeah.
They're each in the bedrooms doing whatever they need to do. There we go. Okay, I think this is us.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can
yes,
hear you,
you
Pippa.
don't.
Sorry, I was just
No, I just thought I could
just
hear
watching the
someone else.
YouTube. There's a bit of a lag, but it is 11:59 and we are live on YouTube. So I'm just seeing if I can see it on my phone here. So this is Authentic Connections, Real and Raw. Yeah, I can hear you, Pippa. Sorry, I was just seeing which one I'm listening to. Sorry, we're fumbling around with technology here.
I love technology.
There we are. It is showing as us being live on YouTube. Yay! 11:59 on the 26th of January 2026. And we are Authentic Connections, Real and Raw. I am Debbie, and this is
Pippa. I am Pippa. Yes. Nice to
and
meet you, WA.
I'm in New Zealand, and we are bringing you our very first Real and Raw Authentic Connections chat today. The very first premiere. We have done a couple of recorded, but we wanted to go live. And the reason for this live is because we want to bring everybody into the fold. So you can ask us questions in real time and we will do our best to answer them. So this chat is not scripted. We don't have anything planned as such. There are a couple of topics we may touch on, but from previous conversations, we tend not to do that, Pippa, don't we?
Yes.
We just go all over the place. So thank you and welcome again to Authentic Connections, Real and Raw. We will do more of these as we go along. So for today, just picking up on our preamble chat before I click the live button, is we were talking about signs. And you were telling me about some signs that you've had recently. So if you want to give a little background and then talk about what we were just saying.
Signs, they're always there, especially when you're not looking for them. Sometimes you can look too hard for signs and you won't see them. It's little signs like driving to, me driving up the road to the shops the other day, and just before the corner where our son and his two friends passed away, this eagle came down and it just swooped over my car. And because I don't go that way, I turned just before the corner. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a sign. Like, I hadn't had one in a few days. I was asking for a sign, like, where am I going? Yeah, those sacred pause moments. And yeah, so now my ears ringing. Yes, so that was really beautiful because it just sort of comes down the car to say, hello, I'm here, and then it just flies away. And I don't see it very often. And then my daughter sent me a video the next day of the same eagle that was flying and hovering around her. Yeah, and then it just flew away.
Wow.
So
And it came down quite low, did it?
yeah, but not in a threatening way. It was, yeah, it just does a little circle and then it flies away.
Yeah, I've got all the chills for that now. Very
Yeah,
much so. That's the chills of the truth. So
yeah.
were you asking for anything in particular, or you wanted a sign for something to prove something or know something, get an answer?
No, sometimes it's just a sign to be like, hello, I'm here, I'm around, you know, I'm watching over you.
So it's about your son.
Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes, yes. Um, and I mean, you just, when you see a sign, you might not even notice it's a sign, and then you'll see something and you'll go, ah, because it might be a few days later of when you're asking for something. It's always when you don't expect it. Yeah, they come.
Yeah, that it's incredible, the signs. There are so many there that we missed most of them, quite frankly. And something I didn't realize till I had a chat with somebody a little while ago is that people may say, show me a sign, but they often don't specify what they want, what's going on in their lives, and they don't specify what particular sign they want to see. And, we may see that spinning picture going around in front of us all the time, and you totally miss that sign because it's so blatantly obvious.
Yeah,
But there was a while ago, many years ago, when I first came to New Zealand, we're going back 20 years now, and there was a little bit of chaos going on. And I went for a walk with somebody and I put the intention out. I need a sign that everything's going to be all right, that I need to stay here. And I said, I want to see a four-leaf clover because I know it's something that's not that easy to find. But I made the intention that I wanted this four-leaf clover to be unmissable, totally unmissable.
yeah.
And I wasn't searching around in the grass for it. If you have to search around for it, it's not your sign.
Not 100%. Yeah.
And if you ask for a feather as a sign that a lot of people do, and you're in a field where there's heaps of seagulls, that's not your sign.
No, that's right.
It needs to be somewhere, say, unusual. Said, yes, I was walking over a field and I was glancing now and then, but I certainly wasn't crawling in the grass. And as I was walking across this field, just a few minutes in, this appeared, this clover here,
Oh, wow.
but the stalk has broken off. It was that much longer. It was literally that much above the grass, this four-leaf clover. And that's what I asked for, a
Yeah.
four-leaf clover, unmissable. And that's exactly what I got. Exactly.
And
And
as soon as
you
you
really
walk,
do need to
oh,
be
sorry.
specific. Sorry, Pippa, go ahead.
Sorry, no, that's me. You would have walked on the grass and your intuition would have been it's here. It's here.
Yeah, I didn't even have the expectation. It was more because if I had that expectation, I'd already answered my own question.
That's right. Yeah.
Whereas me saying, show me this sign, if I'm meant to do this or be here in New Zealand or whatever, show me this four-leaf clover unmissable. And that I was looking for the answer, whatever that answer was. If it wasn't there, then it wasn't there. Then I
Mhm.
had my answer.
That's right.
And there was another time where a friend of mine, she asked for feathers and she said she saw this bird bouncing around, like you were saying about the eagle, but this bird flying around in front of her as she was driving in her car. And I always just usually ask for a particular feather. I want to see a feather in this location. And so I thought, show me a sign. I want to see lots of feathers for this particular thing I was asking for. And so you go looking for it. And so that's where it becomes intentional. So when signs come to you, they are non-intentional. Even though I said about this four-leaf clover, and I was occasionally scouring the field, I wasn't searching, if that makes sense. I was
Mm.
just glancing. And so with these feathers, for myself, I started looking, is it on the back of a car van? Is it on a bus? Is it on a signboard? Where are these feathers? And I was looking and they weren't there anywhere.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home, which is some hours later, I just gave up, thought, well, the feathers aren't there. That's not for me. Put the TV on. And the first thing I saw on the TV was this man wearing this Maori cloak full of feathers. I'm going, there's my sign.
Lots of feathers. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they can come from absolutely anywhere. And that taught me a lesson. I was searching for it,
Right.
totally searching for it. And there are signs whether you're visual, so you want to see something visual like a feather, or if you're verbal or auditory, you might want to see some words. And your sign could come in the form of you on a bus or a train or whatever, and someone opens a book with a title of something or opens a newspaper and that's got the title or some words on it that just totally relates to you. And one of the main signs that I get frequently, very frequently, I'm curious if a lot of people do this, is when I wake up in the morning and I have this song in my head. There's just these few lines going round and over in my head. And so I will stop and think about that. And sometimes for me, that has been life-changing because sometimes that has given me direction of, right, well, you do need to move in this area or that area or look at this or don't do that. Because lyrics of a song for me are very, very potent.
Yes.
So have you had any of those, Pippa?
Yeah. Yeah. With songs and things like, yeah, you can get, you can open a book or you can listen to a song that you've never heard or open a book you've never read, and there's always an answer in there. It's again, it's not what you look at, it's how you look at it. I did a reading last week, and um, I had to go out first, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pump up the music as I do. And anyway, a song came on, and I'm all getting all these downloads about this reading. Um, so that was really good, because it's not so much just the words. I think, as you all know, I think it's the frequency of the song that I needed at that time to just open me up, and I just so we will come to the frequencies soon, because yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the frequencies in sound and things like that, but yeah, I from one song I got a 2 hour reading. Mm.
Wow.
Um, and which was, it's like the tool, gives you bits of information you need, and then when you're reading, it's just coming through even more. Um,
So
so
did you hear that physical song or did it come through in your mind?
no, the song was on the radio,
Right.
but then I was getting all these, like, all the feelings, and a lot of it was, yeah. And I was like, hang on, this isn't, yeah. It's hard to explain, when you're just getting all this information that comes through. So from a 3-minute song, I ended up with a 2 hour reading. So yeah,
Goodness.
it's just, I get things in so many different ways, the different energies, and then, like, I can't explain it. Like, sometimes, like, I'll end up tapping. I'm like, okay, what am I tapping on the steering wheel, listening to the music? I don't do that much. It was just someone needed something to come through. Yeah. Um, and that's how I start to read the energy, and the symbols come, and then I get the meaning. Um, as you were saying about the signs, I haven't, I think I did ask for a sign, and it was a feather. Um, but I didn't actually give a specific time, because I need to keep reminding myself to do that. Sometimes I'll go, give me 3 days, but I went to take the rubbish outside at night. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, bin day tomorrow. And then, so I took all the bin out, come inside, and I was like, oh, I forgot to take the recycling out. So when I went to take the recycling out, there was a feather on my front doorstep. It wasn't there before. Um, yeah, black and white feather. Yeah. And it was just
Yeah,
laying.
that's
Yeah.
a true sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not standing in a field full of seagulls. That's
No, that's right. I've watched my grandson in my daughter's backyard actually, and he just stood there and put his hand out, and this feather came down and landed in his hand, and we were like, he's
wow.
hello, Uncle Zaya.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
incredible. It's
mm,
incredible.
yeah,
And we spoke about the signs that we had a little while ago, just before we did this call with the four signs that I had on that day, with the bee at my camera, with the four hawks circling above, and the dead spider that chose to come and die on my deck, and then all in one
that's
within
good
an
fun.
hour. Yeah, and this blackbird sitting on the deck when I've got a couple of cats. It's like, whoa. So all of these things happened in such a short space of time, and they were all highly significant. And that was just before we started our real and raw chats, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
So we're
amazing.
very new to these people that are listening. We have 7 viewers at the moment, which is awesome. Yay for our first one. You can hit like if you quite like what we're talking about. That'd be lovely. Um, and so yeah, we're very new. Pippa and I don't know each other that well. We're getting to know each other as we're talking. Talk about real and raw. And definitely authentic. So I'm a sound healer. That's my primary modality, and a transformational coach. And Pippa?
I am a scribe, a sacred scribe. So I do a lot with symbols. They come through as symbols, and I can write about your energies. Um, I can write mantras for you, whatever comes through, invocations, and I also read, do mediumship, psychic mediumship, as the labels, similar thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
whatever's meant to come through, I don't force anything. How it comes through is how it comes through, and what you're meant to hear at this point of your life. The guidance.
Yeah, awesome. We've both been doing our each individual work for a long time. Mine is many decades, and I think Pippa's been quite a while, quite a while. So the other thing that we've got going on here is the astrology events that we touched on as well. So today being the 26th of January 26. So we've got numerologically, you probably know more about the numerology. We've got an 8, a 1, and 8. So the 8, which is about abundance, etc., I believe. And then there's the 1, which is about new beginnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that sound about right, Pippa?
The zero is good too, because that's the divine. That's straight to source.
Ah, that's
Mm.
awesome. So, and it is, what did we read? So I do have a couple of notes here because I'm not an astrologer. I don't do astrology. That's the very first thing I did want to do, but I've never done. And so we've got Neptune entered Aries today. So it's the first time in 165 years. And I just happen to be in Aries. And then we have something else, Pluto entering Aquarius. And so that's all about humanitarian and keeping things real, basically, which is what we're doing. We feel that everything is too scripted nowadays, and we're just speaking from our heart. Whatever comes up, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's this year too. And being a scribe is the real, the raw, the truth, ancient truth. Um, yeah, and that's me this year too. It's just speaking it, just real and raw. Um, I've noticed one thing I've had to talk about. I have to go off topic, sorry, is that I need to say that healing is simple, but it's hard. The reason why is people are getting so stuck on this healing journey of trying to heal and trying to find all these modalities to heal themselves. They're focusing on these different, I don't judge anyone for it, which is great, but they're not actually healing themselves because they're trying to go to the next, what do you call it? The next healing program or healing thing, which I think is amazing trying to find that. But um, as I've had a few people, they have said to me, I'm tired of healing. I'm just exhausted from healing. And it's because they're focused too much on healing rather than themselves. Healing yourself within is going to the root cause of everything, facing everything in your life, embracing everything that has happened to you in your life, flaws and all. You can be whole but still be broken. But once you've faced everything and you've gone through the wholeness of everything that you've been through in your life, that's when you stay in alignment and you do these healing modalities. Does that make sense? I have to
Yeah.
say so. They've
Yeah.
got my
What I think, yeah, what I think I'm hearing you say is that people don't allow the healing to integrate.
yeah,
Yeah. So they will have maybe, say, a Reiki treatment. And Reiki's great. I do Reiki. I don't know if you do, Pippa, do you?
yeah. I
Yeah.
do. I don't do it much. I just read the energy of where it is in their body. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's a healing modality, and I use the word healing loosely because everyone's healing is different and it
That's
means
right. Yeah.
different things to different people. And so, with, say, somebody comes for a Reiki, they can set their expectation bar high, like, I am the healer. Whereas, from my perspective, as soon as you make that decision to make that appointment, that's where your healing journey begins.
Yeah.
And people tend to overlook things like that. And when people have that high expectation of, I don't know, I've got a sore shoulder, I'm coming in for Reiki and it's going to heal my shoulder, I'm keeping it light and fluffy for obvious reasons, and they walk away and their shoulder is still sore, they may have missed all the other signs in the body of how their body feels. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, but like the pain in the shoulder, it's also understanding the energy you're holding in that shoulder. We can help and guide um, with our healing, energy healing. Um, but it's feeling it and acknowledging, the emotions, the trauma, whatever it is that anyone has been through, because you can't just put a blanket over it either. You need to feel it. You have to feel the feelings, acknowledge the feelings, and then let it go. Um, and that I think we're missing that a lot too, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
but what people, what we do is to help them through it and help them acknowledge that it's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel anything. It's okay to feel rage. Rage is sacred, just doing it in a safe place. Because if we did not have all these different feelings and emotions, we wouldn't be tested with everything that,
Mm.
because we have to feel every emotion and they're valid. It's all valid because it all comes down to love.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, So the emotions in because I work a lot with emotion, 25 years working with emotional
Yeah.
and subconscious programming. And so the emotions are the gateways to what is blocking you. So if you have that rage, if you have that anger, what is sitting behind that rage and anger?
Hmm.
And I know a lot of people, it's very difficult to face that. And
Oh,
so things do have to be done very, very gently. You can't, well, in the way I work, I
yeah,
can't just go in and
that's
rip it out
right.
from its core. That'd be
And it does.
traumatizing for a lot of
Hmm.
people.
It can be,
And
yeah.
so it's a gentle by gentle step. Sometimes with the way I work, a lot of powerful modalities that can get to the core without you saying a word.
Mm.
But it's still, from what you're saying, it is still people taking that step and actually acknowledging that there's more to there than just the pain in the shoulder, because emotions are pain is trapped emotion, energy in motion, as it said.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I do on the other side when people are ready to really get into that, their shadows, which, we have to have shadows because it's the shadow and light, it's the balance. Um, when they're ready to walk straight through it, I hold a safe space for people. I mean, they can scream, they can throw themselves on the ground in front of me, but they're in a safe place and they're with someone that, you know, understands trauma and feeling it and letting it creep back up because when I started my journey doing the shadow alchemy, it was as soon as I would feel something like that, I push it back down. Oh no, I'm not going there because it was frightening. It hurt. It hurt too much. And when it hurts like that, it's a fear. But when I finally released it, which was like the dark night of the soul, you know, it just everything in your life that you've been through comes out. I mean, you just feel that you're in the darkest place of your life, but there's always a light. It's like the night, there's always a moon, there's always a star, there's always the light will always come to you in your darkest moments. Um, and yeah, it's about integrating them as a part of who you are. Like, we don't live in the past, but the past lives within us.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that entirely, Pippa. And these dark nights of the soul, they're just other levels of consciousness, other vibrations.
Yeah.
I think I'm the same with the same that I don't particularly like the term 5D. I don't know what 5D really means.
No,
I
I
know
don't,
it stands for fifth dimension, and
yeah.
we're supposed to be in the third dimension. And although I work very deeply in the really crazy way of past life, ancestral, multidimensional, you name it, realms, I'm
Mm.
very practical and down to earth, which is that combination, a bit of a conflict going on in the middle there. But I just see it as, shall we say,
Yes.
levels of consciousness. And that's the way I see that. And sort of like your chakras, going through the chakras, they're different layers, different levels. And your chakras are not only, say, in your body here, they have been photographed
Yeah.
within the fascia, the connective tissue network in your body. But you've also got chakras going out this way. And so these are the different layers and levels. And well, many, many, many years ago, when I was working as a crystal therapist, I was working with this one person using the crystal over her heart chakra. And for the first time ever, I felt three heart chakras. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? Nobody's told me anything about these. And so I intuitively wanted to align them. It felt like they were out of a line. So I trust my intuition and just aligned them. And I could see them all as green, but like different shades of green, which was kind of weird. I've never seen anything like that before. So that led me to believe way back then that we do have these different levels or layers of our chakra and energetic body, and they each mean different things. So that's the way that I personally would look at 5D is where somebody is in their consciousness rather than we live in 5D and we can just instantly manifest from A to B
Yeah.
or whatever. It's not that anyone's any better or any worse. I never ever see it that way. It
No.
is just the level that they're on. It's like playing a computer game, I suppose. Some
Yeah,
people are on level 3 and some people are on level 5, and eventually we'll all get there.
yeah, because it works out to be about 13 chakras. Mm. Mm.
Uh-huh. 13 layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Um, yeah, you're right about that. I was brought up, with my parents. I remember my dad saying to me many years ago, we don't treat the CEO different to the janitor, that sort of thing. But again, that's a stereotyping from others. But we are all, we each have our own unique gifts. Um, no one's better than anyone. We are all
Yeah.
here on our own journey, trying to get through get through this test,
Yeah.
this journey, whatever's thrown at us.
Yeah,
It can be
absolutely.
hard. Mm.
I just want to do a quick check because we're just going to be speaking here for about 30, 40 minutes. It's not going to be a 2-hour session. That's all we're going to do. And this is the first that I've ever done a Facebook live stream from my Zoom. So it's all brand new to me, a little bit clunky, but real and raw, as we say. I don't know if anyone's put anything in any chat. I can't see anything if you have. So I'm just going to put hello in there and just see what comes up. So for any that are still online that would like to ask anything, you're welcome to put it in the chat. And we're not gurus. We're just two women that have had our journey, sharing our combined journey together, learning from each other and learning from you that come online here as well. So feel free to ask away any questions or make any kind comments would be nice. So where we are now, Pippa, what's going on?
As we were saying about signs, I was on a group I'm on through Hayden Crawford with Dreamtime Academy. Um, and, it's a monthly meetup that we do with people all over the world. Um, and anyway, he was showing us these cards that he's designed, and asking, which card aligned to us. And one card stuck out, and I was like, I need to pause because I need to go and get my symbols book. Now I had drawn the card, um, not realizing, and I put magenta on the card, and that was the card. So that was a really good sign because I was like, what is this meaning? So,
So
and
you'd actually drawn that card before you chose the card.
yeah, I drew it like the thing was on um, Sunday morning, yesterday morning, and I drew this on the 10th. It's
All
obviously
right.
not
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like a star. It was almost like the with Metatron and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, magenta. So very interesting. That was just, I think it's leading me to something else. But, as you get these little signs and puzzles, slowly sometimes they come in different pieces over time. So it'll make sense soon.
Yeah, they do. They do. And it's you have to be patient. We're going back to the signs again, and but that's okay. And we had a chat a while ago. I think it's on one of our recorded ones where I was having a reconnective healing session, and I felt like I had this huge pin plugged right in my third eye, and saw all these binary numbers come in, and was given the words, "You'll be given the code, you'll be given the keys." And I'm writing a book now, and that book is about the 7 keys as well. But you also said something to me that made me think.
Yeah, but you are the key. You're the master key. Yeah.
Mm.
So all
That's
the
what,
other little keys are coming from you at the end because you're the master key. That's how I can could say skeleton key, but
Yeah. So we are each our
But
master
because
key.
you are the key, we all
Mm.
keep looking on the outside for so much. We look on the outside for healing. We look for someone, we want someone to fix us or heal us. And at the end of the day, we can only heal ourselves,
Exactly.
because it's going inwards.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
as healers ourselves, we help, we guide. We don't tell people what to do. We help them see within themselves, how their own uniqueness, embracing their own uniqueness.
Mm.
There's no competition because every single one of us are completely different,
Yeah.
and we're meant to be.
Yeah. And even if we do the same thing, we do it differently. We bring our own
100%.
frequency, our own energy. So it's all
Yeah,
different. And something that came through me a while ago about, people healing and, sure, we go to a healer or go to a facilitator, go to somebody to help us where we are not capable of helping ourselves because we don't have all that expertise in the world. So we do need to get that guidance from other people. And something came to me that where we are all gifted. We talked about Reiki earlier, but I firmly believe every single one of us on this earth is gifted with being able to heal. So put your hands on your body and you can heal yourself. And so what came through one morning as I was waking up is about where you place your hands on your body and you just give the intention that's paramount in any healing that you do or and facilitate is you give the intention for what you want and what you need. So the intention would be for healing, whatever you want, any color you want as you're doing it on yourself, to come from your hand into, paraphrasing, that sore shoulder or wherever it is in your body. And you just lay there and just imagine and give that intention. That's all you need. And then it came through was what this is universal source energy that's coming through you because we all have access to that, every single one of us. And so then it came through, you just need to use it, universal source energy with intentional thought, USEIT. And that's free to everybody. So your modality, everybody's modality, is called use it. Universal source energy with intentional thought. Put it where you want it yourself with your intentional thought on that part of the body that universal source energy is coming through you with your intention into your own body to help heal yourself. Yeah.
that's right.
And I just love the use it analogy. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Not invented by me. That was through me, not by me.
Yes, 100%. And there's so, even like healing and putting your hands on, like the Reiki on yourself and things like that. Also, even through meditation, I always say imagining because people who get confused with meditation and that they think, I should be sitting and and it's not. That's not. You can meditate any way you want. It's just getting out of your mind for a moment, just um but you can visualize in your mind, like even just sitting there wherever you are and just, I've actually done a headache on myself before and just seeing all my, capillaries and everything going back to normal and traveling through my body and taking the pain away. Um and it's worked as well. Like
Hmm.
also if you look at have you Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, I have looked at a lot of Joe
Yeah.
Dispenza stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, with his accident after the bike race and how he just wouldn't have surgery and he's a neurosurgeon. And yeah, and he repaired himself by doing that every single day.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
That could lead us down a huge rabbit hole
I
that we could
know.
be here for a couple of hours for.
We
'Cause
could.
that's part of the work that I do is in that
Yeah.
area. So I think what we'll do, Pippa, we've been on here for almost 40 minutes now. It took us a little while to warm up, but we got here being live on YouTube. The
Yeah,
next one should be smoother. So we're going to thank you for joining us, all of the people that have been here. And I think we've had a maximum of 7 people watching. And so very, very first Zoom. Happy with it?
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, again, thank you for joining us. And we'll do another live. I think what we spoke of is that we're just going to do lives maybe astrologically whenever some certain alignments happen, or numerologically, or whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, when we're drawn, pulled,
Yep. Yep.
it's always like, oh, I feel the need or need to
Yeah.
get a sign.
Um, but we will do them otherwise. We'll just record some and then we'll do some live and just see what happens. If you like these real in raw chats, no scripted, and at some point here, should you look back, you will probably see my eyes looking in a particular direction because as we were talking about signs, I had a tiny little mouse in my office here. It was a little mouse and I was watching it thinking, okay, I'm fine with mice, by the way. Just a
Yeah.
tiny little field mouse. Now I got to go and try and find it before the cat does.
Oh, oh, well, that could be a sign for the cat to bring you a gift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It might well have been her actually. But no, thank you, everybody. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with
Yeah.
you. And for those that are listening after, thank you so much. And again, hit that like, and that will help people find us a little bit more. Pippa?
Yeah, thank you. And if want us to keep doing them, please, yeah, just let us know, which helps. And any topics maybe you just want us to talk on next time. Um, they may come up. Yeah, it would be great. Yes, so thank
Awesome.
you.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.